We do love you, Leeds. Cheers, Theo. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds on a special show. I love it when I've got Wayne on here. Big Sunderland fan from Only Fools and Safc. You'll all know him if you've been in here a while now. He's been on a couple of times before, once on a live, once to give me a preview of the infamous game we had at the Stadium of Light earlier this season. But so first of all, how you doing, Wayne? You good?
I'm not too bad, mate. Thanks for having us on. How are you?
I am good, mate. Yeah, we're just saying off air, won't we? How it's busy work, busy Christmas coming up, but nice to have a bit of time off as well with family. So can't wait for it.
It is. I am looking forward to myself, mate. Like you say, it's always hectic up until Christmas, but nice to have a few days off and then reset and get back to it next year.
100%, pal. Hopefully, as respective football teams have a good Christmas too, because that always helps. It's a tough time, but it's good when you're off work and there's so many games and that coming thick and fast. But it can be a horrible time or a brilliant time depending what side of the fence it goes.
I always think this kind of makes or breaks your season. I think this time is crucial. I think
100%, mate. You've got, like I say, you've got games in quick succession, which we're used to week by week, to be fair. But then you go straight into January. Then all of a sudden, everything can change depending on what sides around you do business. You're a little bit like me, I think, and you don't think your side will do much business in January, so that's a worry. I certainly aren't too sure about us. You know by this point of season where you need to strengthen and where you're lacking, but whether our sides will do anything, we'll have to wait and see. But
no, I've got my doubts just based on what he's been saying in the press conferences. He doesn't fill you with much hope. So no, I'm not confident at all.
Now, they always say that, they always keep the cards close to the chest, but yeah, I aren't too sure either. But I'll say I was watching our video back what we did, I think it was 17th of October, so about 7 weeks ago, and you were 5 points clear at the time, and unbelievable start to the season. And then you hit a bit of a rough patch where you weren't losing games, but you weren't winning them either. A lot of draws in there. What sort of went wrong, mate? Is it a bit of coming back to like reverting to type where you'd probably expect to be, or is the issues in the club or with the players in general that caused that sort of rough patch? Although I don't think it were too. Like I say, I think you were getting some good results in their draws when you weren't playing well. You said a lot of times, you get a last minute equaliser and you were lucky, but digging in sometimes, it's part of the game as well. It can't always play good football. But do you think it's a bit of poor form, or do you reckon there's more to it, or what do you reckon, Wayne?
I think I did see at the time when I was on before that, I think we were probably overachieving at some point. We were probably level out, and I think that was kind of a bit of both. We just kind of reverted back to the level that I thought we would. Few players dipped in form, and then obviously when you're looking at squad depth and we haven't got the players for to bring in, when them players are out of form, then you kind of struggle. And the performances have been slowly getting worse week on week. Now we had a few conversations in the background about our sporting director getting involved with the team selection and our assistant managers having too much say, and it was looking like that from the sidelines, big style, because how things snowball. It only takes one person for it to say something, and then you get the massive rumours and what have you. And we just struggled for form. I mean, we're still not playing well. We were putting together good halves of football, but like you were saying, the good thing is we weren't losing games. We were scratching draws and what have you. But touch with the last week or so, I think has been better, but still not happy from the start that we had. But I think we're probably finding out the level that we're actually at now, because we haven't got the depth, the squad depth, to bring players in to replace them ones that were probably suffering a bit.
I mean, that I think last time we spoke, I don't think that Watson on the left was really in the squad, whereas now he's come of age recently. Is he another one a bit like Chris Rigg, another young local talent who seems to be tearing it up?
He's been with the club since he was about 5 years old. I mean, that left wing position for us seems to be cursed. I mean, we lost Jack Clark, then Mundell came in, we lost him for 8 weeks injury, and now we've lost Watson. He's out for 2 months.
Are you joking? I didn't know that. I mean, I watched your recent videos, but I didn't really realise Mundell had sort of come out. I thought Watson must have pipped him to the post. But is that what's happened? Mundell's come out, so he's coming now. He's injured again.
Mundell did his hamstring, and then he's out. I think he's back in a 2 or 3 weeks' time. So Watson came in, struggled at first, but then the last couple of games, he was getting used to first team football, and he scored 2 goals in one of the games, and then the last home game we play, he gets in Bristol City, he gets injured, and he's out for 2 months. So We're now playing a striker in Meander. He's now playing on the left wing, but it just disrupts the side. You know, it's like when you're playing people out of position, it doesn't really work. So we're just trying to get our way through these games until these players come back fit.
So we touched on that a lot, didn't we? That was one of our biggest worries with Sunderland, with that depth. We said when we spoke at the time, we just lost Ampadu, Gruev, we had Ramazani, which you didn't know when we did stream. I told you Ramazani went out for 6 weeks, and sometimes it just all hits you at once. And we're lucky. I mean, our benches, it's got to be right up there as one of the best benches I've seen in Championship. It's ridiculous. We're really fortunate. We got our summer window right. We brought in the right people, and obviously we've still got Premier League quality within that side. It's not as much as it maybe was last season, losing some big hitters, as you know, but I feel like we have got the depth to sort of cope. And obviously it sort of happens when you look, you know, as the season goes on, it's sort of ending now where you got Sheffield United climbing the league and Burnley. These sides are where you sort of expect. Luton have been the biggest shock, I'd say. They're the side who shocked me because I really thought they'd be up there challenging.
Me too, big style.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what you've made of Leeds recently. Our away form is an absolute joke at the minute, Wayne. It's something that, I mean, I think we're averaging just over 2 points a game, which is brilliant. You know, overall the fans are happy with that stat, but there's something not going right away from home for Leeds, and I mean, it's a big concern for us. You know that, pal.
I mean, I watched your last away game. Was it there? Preston, was it, when you got Preston. The last minute equaliser? I mean,
yeah.
To be fair, you played well. I think it's just a case of you need to just take your chances when you're on top. You know, if you're not taking your chances, then it's like where we've been suffering. We're creating loads of chances, but just you didn't put where you get punished. At this league, in this level, you get punished. You have to take your chances, and unfortunately, maybe you have been a bit of the same. I mean, like you say, away from home, you lost at Millwall as well, didn't you? Not so long ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah, lost to Millwall, lost to Blackburn.
But to be fair, Blackburn's probably, you know, they've probably been my biggest shock of how well they've done this season. I mean, we got their Boxing Day, and it's probably not the worst time to be playing them.
Yeah, true.
But I think it's just to be fair, you haven't, but you're still up there. You haven't lost that much ground by losing the away game, you know. And I think your home form's that strong, then it's keeping you right up there.
I think that's what we're clicking onto as Leeds fans. It's that home form. I mean, I don't see many teams getting anything at Ellen Road this season. Obviously, we lost to Burnley, dropped points to Portsmouth on opening day, but honestly, it must be a mentality thing, because at home, honestly, it's just like a foregone conclusion. I mean, you go to the game and you're expected to win 2 or 3-0, and it's happening. It's not even an arrogance. It's just the feeling you get when you're at the game. You know, it's just so easy at Ellen Road, and I don't know why we can't transfer that, you know, to away from home. Because for me, it's more pressure playing at Ellen Road. A lot more pressure. All your fans there, every stray pass gets sort of like, you know, and hard. When away from home, you might have 5,000, travelling support, or 6,000, depending where we go. But still, you know, it should be more freedom when you play away from home. But we are really struggling with that. And like I say, it's overall, it's going well. But there's that little niggle in my head, that little Leedsy thing that we're doing a Sunderland, like you say. It's that thing back in there where you just go, if anyone can fuck this up now, it's us, you know. And it's just after such a good start, but a bit of a slower start, but like we're building into something. Every time we sort of get top or get close, like we win, we'll go clear, fuck it up again, and we drop back a little bit and lose ground.
I think that's kind of been the pattern of the league all season. You know, teams that get up there struggle to stay there. I mean, I think Sheffield United, even though the top, from what we should have beat them. And other games I've seen them play, they've been lucky. They're not running away with games. They're winning games like 1-0. You know what I mean? They're scraping results, and I suppose it's a sign of a good side. But I'm not convinced that they're going to be runaway leaders at all. I mean, from the teams that we've played, I would say you are by far the best team we've played footballing wise. Even Burnley weren't that good, you know. So I don't know. I just think
everyone said that about Burnley and Sheffield United, mate. But the problem with them is they keep doing it, though. And it's because they keep clean sheets. Both sides are just unreal at the back. I mean, I think Burnley have conceded 6 in 21 games. That's scandalous form. That's unbelievable. And you're always giving yourself an opportunity to win games. And Sheffield United, what have they conceded? 9? 10? 9? Is that what it is? It just gives them a really good platform to go on and win game. And like I say, they don't need many goals. Whereas Leeds, maybe Sunderland, you know, like you seen other day with you needed 3 to win that game. We needed 4 away at Swansea to win the other week. And you're not really helping yourself out there if you just get that. I mean, at home, we're solid as a rock, but away from home, we always concede first. It's always an uphill battle. And when you're playing against a side that plays a mid to low block before you kick a ball, as soon as they get a goal, I feel like away from home, you might as well just blow up whistle for Leeds fans because we're not going to get back. We're not going to get back into it.
We struggle like that at home when teams play a low block and
Really?
10 men behind. We struggle to beat them down. Stoke would, was scraped the result against them 2-1. Bristol City was always going to be a difficult game because they've never ever lost at the stadium since it opened. So that was always going to be a tough game.
Wow.
But like I say, teams, if we don't get an early goal at home, then the atmosphere changes. That we struggle, and it's just a slog from then on. You hope you're just going to get one. And I don't know. I mean, do you play a different formation away from home? Is it?
No, play it the same way. I feel like the tempo's not there. I feel like I don't know. Tactically wise, they don't change anything. They might rotate a couple of players, but the like for like, really. Honestly, mate, there's no tactical change at all. Where I feel like maybe that's what he needs to do. I kind of feel like he's one coming. To be fair, I think we've got Aronson playing in 10. I think he's got 4 or 5 goals. So statistically, he's doing well, but to the eye test, he's not really doing much. And I think with Ampadu coming back, I think Rothwell and Tanaka have been too good to drop. And we've always said, who are we going to drop? I think now it's probably looking likely that they may take him out and either move Rothwell or Tanaka into 10, or maybe just play over standard 3 in midfield and let Ampadu be the deeper of the 3. But that's what we'd like to see, and that might be something away from home that we look at. But I think for Leeds, January is massive in that 10 role. Like I feel like our 10 positions, the missing piece, if we can get that right, I feel like we'll just, it'll open up so many doors for us. Because at the minute, creativity-wise, if it's not coming from wing, it's not coming from anywhere. Down middle, we're not creating as much as we should. And I spoke to you before about Ampadu and Gruev are very passive. They're not really progressive sort of players, are side to side. They don't offer you a goal threat. And we said when you were last on, Rothwell and Tanaka give you that, but they still haven't scored, Wayne. But we still haven't got a goal from us midfield. I mean, from the start of last season to now, 1 free kick against Norwich in playoffs at
really
Ellen Road. That's, I mean, and I look at you and you've got, what is it, Dan Neil, you've got Job. You get goals from midfield, Yeah, you haven't got a 20-goal a season striker, and we've touched on that, neither have we really. But in terms of goals from everywhere, I feel like we're getting them. I mean, every defender scored for us this season, which is great. We're scoring from corners, that we're looking more threatening from corners. But still, to not have a centre midfielder score, apart from that 10, but midfielders in general, to have none of them score since 1 goal since start of last season, that's a big concern for me. We need to start scoring more goals from midfield.
That's it. I mean, I think if you're going to have a successful season, you need a midfield player for a chip in with probably 5-10 goals, anyway. Not too much 10, but definitely up towards 10 goals a season. And I think if you didn't get that, you're relying too much on your strikers.
Yeah.
I mean, our top goal scorer is Wilson Isidore. He's only got 5 goals.
Yeah.
When you look at Norwich, I think they've got top goal scorer in the league. That signs it. You've got 15 goals.
Mental.
That's a difference, isn't it?
He's not even a striker, is he? He's a wide player as well.
He's a wide player, right? So
unbelievable.
I think you have to have a goal scorer in your side, but you have to have them goals from midfield as well. And we've been lucky; we've kind of scored goals from everywhere. Mundell's got 3 or 4. Watson's got 2 the last game. Rigg and Job have chipped in with goals. Dan Neil got a rocket at the weekend. We need to see more from Roberts, because Roberts is just nice on the eye, but shite otherwise. His end product is absolutely shocking.
Really, I always rated Roberts. Well, not rated him as such, but I always thought he was a talented player, which I'm sure he is. But is he not really getting the numbers?
He's shocking. I think I did a video. I think it might have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, and when I did some delving into his numbers, and his numbers are absolutely shocking. I think he averages an assist every 13 games. So from a wide player, that's shite. You know what I mean? And I think that people rave about him, but if you look at his career, he's been shifted on from everywhere he's been, and there's a reason for that.
He's been around the block a bit, hasn't he? To be fair, started at City, been to Celtic, been around the block a little bit. But
been abroad, he's been all over the place, and he's never done it. But he's that skillful. He's to watch. He's brilliant, but his end product doesn't produce now. Which is frustrating.
Which is what it's all about. Oh, too right. Touch on your target man, Isidore. He was in fine form last time we spoke. Last time you were on here, he just scored that goal away at Hull, I think, as well. And he was flying. He seemed to be scoring every game in that bit of a purple patch. Has it sort of dried up for him recently? Watching your latest videos, is he not?
He's out of form. Like all strikers, they've gone through spells, didn't they? And he just looks tired. And this is getting back to the squad rotation. But when we haven't we've got that many players out. The players that we bought, like Russian, he's not doing it. He's not getting a game. The other centre forward we bought, Abdullahi, he's been injured all season. Not seen him kick a ball yet.
Really?
So but we're relying. I mean, we brought him in as a left-sided player, and he just so happened to put him up front, and he scored a few goals, and we knew it wouldn't continue all season.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we've struggled as well, because we're relying too much on him. Again, if your midfielders didn't score, then where the goals are going to come from? So, at this moment in time, he's really out of form. He looks leggy, but he still grafts. But it's like everybody gone through spells, didn't he?
Has Connolly not been getting many minutes?
I'm not impressed with him at all. Like,
really, last time we spoke, you fancied him to do okay at the time.
I thought he might have been a really, really good sign for us, but he's got one goal. He scored away at Millwall, did he?
Yeah.
And the other week, but he just doesn't look fit. Well, I mean, he's not getting a run on the side. He's not. I don't know. I thought he was going to be a really, really good sign for us, but at the minute, he's not really done it. Like, I didn't know if we play the right game for him. You know, I don't know. I don't know if our tactics suit him, but at the minute, no, he's not doing much. He's not even getting on in games, to be fair.
Mad that. It's mad that. Are you thinking a strike is your main position you need to strengthen in January if they go for anyone, or do you other areas, pal?
Well, I would love to see a centre forward, but like I said, the worrying sign is in the press conferences that he's done. He's kind of the model is youth, and they're not going to spend money in the transfer window unless it's absolutely necessary. They think they've got the right players in the building, which, you know, like I said, we've signed this Abdullahi, who's a centre forward, not seen him play. So, and we've also signed a kid called Salah Samed, who's played Champions League football for Lens. He's not kicked the ball yet. He's been injured since we bought him. So I'm thinking that they're going to think these two players, when they come back fit, they're going to be like two new signings, so they'll not need to sign anybody. But there's other areas. I mean, I might have touched on Job last season where we overplayed him and burnt him out, and that suffered. You know, at the back end of last season, he really suffered performance-wise. We're doing the same with Chris Rigg. We're playing him week in, week out. In the last couple of games, he's looked knacked. He's looked leggy, and he needs a rest. But because the owners want to push his value and want to put him in the shop window and sell him on for a big price, we're playing him week in, week out, and performances are suffering. It's not fair on the kid, you know. No.
I remember you saying that. Last season on the last video about rotation with kids is key. You know what I mean? And with Job, like you said, last season towards that back end, your form was shocking towards back end of last season. You just fell off a cliff, and these young lads, especially if that Watson's going to be playing going forward, you know, 3 really young players playing there, you really need some rotation there for like quality. But it's difficult, isn't it? Because I think I watch your ratings, and you give Job a 7 out of 10 most weeks. So he's obviously, you know, he's one of your main threats. He's one of your better players. But like you say, it's the drop off, and he probably knows it. Does Labrie, like the drop off in taking him out to rest him is probably going to be massive, and who can come in for him. So he probably feels forced to keep playing him, but it's not ideal at all when they're that young. You know, can really damage the career going forward.
It's not fair. Like you say, it proved last year with Job, and the difference in Job last year to this is unreal.
Yeah,
he's been probably up there with one of our best players.
Yeah,
he just seems to get better week on week, and for a young lad, the size and the power. I don't know, just freakish. Him and Jude, two. You know, you never see the likes again. And I think Job's going to get into probably bigger and better things than what Jude has. If I'm fair, watching what I'm seeing week in, week out. I mean, it's just a pleasure to have him at the moment. And I keep saying that to our fans, is just enjoy him while he's here, because he's not going to be here very long.
Yeah.
I mean, ideal world, I'd love us to get promoted and have a season with us in the Prem.
Yeah.
But I just can't say it. Like, I think if somebody comes in with a big bid in January, because I think Dortmund and likes have been looking at them, money talks. Somebody comes in with a big bid.
It's one of them as well. I think we touch on it quite a lot on my show, is when it comes to January incomings and outgoings, where your league position is vital. I mean, if you were still top by a few points, it may feel like turning that down is a good option. If you're 3rd, 4th, looking like you're not going to catch the top 2, you know, it maybe forces his hand a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because that opportunity might not come. He could get injured. Who knows? Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them where it's imperative, you know, if you wanted to do things and put a real statement down in January that you're where you need to be. I mean, we're linked with silly season now, isn't it? Like you get all these links out, you know, filter through all shite. There's so much not true in there, and you know, we definitely need a 10. We're linked with Louis Barry from Villa. I think he's out of Stockport a minute.
We've been linked with him and all.
It's same as all time, mate. Those top 3-4 sides will all get linked with him. I don't think we'll touch him. He's more of a left-sided player, but he's played that middle a little bit. But I think he's played more games on left wing. And we've got Solomon, we've got Ramazani, we've got Nono. We ain't going to touch a winger, but we're linked to Buendia as well. And I think that's just that'll be the best case scenario. But I just don't see it, if I'm honest. I really don't see it. But a 10 for us and a 9 if I'm being greedy. But I don't think they'll get a 9. You've got Bamford, who's third choice on 40 grand a week still. Pirro and Joseph. I mean, what have you made of our striking options? I know on our last video you touched that you think a championship side needs a bit of a big forward who's strong and physical, and we haven't really got that. Has it changed your mind in the last 7 weeks, pal, or do you still feel the same?
I still think I mean, that's just personal opinion. I just think in this league you need somebody who can hold the ball up. Especially away from home when you're under pressure. You need somebody to make that ball stick, and that's where we've suffered again. With Isidore, at times he's a big lad, but the ball it's bouncing off him, and when he's out of form, and you need that ball to stick to bring players into the game. Yeah, and we haven't had that. And I'm a firm believer you need a big target man and somebody like you say a good 10 to play off them. I mean that Tyrese Campbell who got Sheffield United got, they signed him on a free transfer at the same time we got Conley. They got him for Nout, and I think he's got like 8 or 9 goals, isn't he already?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
I mean, but for you, I mean, I like Pirro. He's a decent player, but I just didn't know if he gets enough goals. That's all.
It's a weird one with Pirro because I think for minutes he's played, I think he's got maybe 6 or 7 goals, but he's only played maybe half at games when they've sort of split minutes evenly between him and Joseph. But he's one of them, mate, where I don't like to give him the title of super sub, but he tends to do better off the bench, and I'm sure he wouldn't want that title. But genuinely off the bench, he's more effective. I think when he starts games, he can get bullied a little bit by defenders. He can drift in and out of games. I mean, if he doesn't score, he tends to have a poor game. I know it sounds obvious, but he doesn't tend to offer much more off the ball. Right. He's not as quick as some people. Can't put himself around, can't press. The ball doesn't always stick with him, but he's a poacher, and he's probably the only striker we've had in a long time, mate, where he only needs, I say 2, and that might be a discredit to him. 1 or 2 chances, he tends to put it away, but he doesn't get many more than that, to be honest. So I don't know if that's because of his positioning. I don't know if he isn't working hard enough. I don't know. A lot of fans have different opinions on him. I feel like as a combination, it works. Starting Joseph, the younger lad, a lot more energy, can press, can do all that hard. And then when games stretched, Pirro comes on, whether we're winning or losing, and tends to either assist or get a goal. I think he's assisting or getting a goal every 109 minutes or something. So it's not, he ain't got bad stats, but I feel like when he starts games, which he normally does, he normally comes off bench, gets a couple of goals, warrants a start. And then after 90 minutes, you're back to square one again, thinking that didn't really work. Do we try it? No. And they've sort of changed it too many times for me. Sometimes rotation's good, but I feel like a striker, you don't want to be playing 3 games and then swapping for 3 games. And that's what he tends to do. He gives someone a run 3 or 4 games and swaps it back. And we've even seen Patrick Bamford getting a few minutes recently, which is scared living daylights out of some of us, thinking he's going to be coming on. But I think he's more of that. I say a plan B, but like when we need a goal and we're 1-0 down at 90th minute, he tends to come on and put himself about. But sometimes, mate, when we're trailing in a game or we need a goal, we end up with like 4 or 5 strikers on pitch. Right. Just the formation goes out window, and it paid off at Preston. But I feel like I've been slated a little bit on this channel for saying he needs a plan B. Well, people say he has a philosophy. You stick to philosophy and you do it better. If you flip flop from your philosophy, the players may lose faith in you. I don't really agree with that. I feel like sometimes in different games you need a different way of playing, and that's my biggest criticism of Farke.
Yeah, mate, I'm the same, and I think we agree to that as well. We've got one way of playing in games where it's not working. Yeah. My biggest criticism of Lebris is substitutions. He's like every game doesn't make a sub any earlier than 70 minutes unless he's forced to. Which
same.
When you're getting beaten away from home and you need to change and you wait till 70 minutes, like it's just shocking. Like you need to be proactive rather than reactive at times, and it's a massive frustrating, a massive bugbear of mine that really gets on me.
We've got the same manager, honestly, mate. It's uncanny that, mate. I mean, is it something when you go to games, when you're at Stadium of Light, is it something that sort of resonates around the ground as well? That sub, it gets to 60 minutes, or even sometimes At half time, we saw Marcelo Bielsa.
Change it,
Just change it. There were a couple of times when he pulled Calvin Phillips off after half an hour because it just wasn't working. And you're thinking, what are you doing? But sometimes you've got to be brave enough to make these calls. And I don't know about you, but with Leeds, I suppose it's the same for every fan. Within that first 10 minutes, sometimes you can just see it's not our day today. And you want him to change something. And he won't. It's like he's got pre-made subs in his head for 70 minutes and he won't divert away from that. And it's so frustrating when.
Do you know what? When we drew with Bristol City the other week, the first half against Bristol City, we absolutely battered them. They couldn't get out. Manning at half time made 2 changes, changed the game. Second half, they absolutely battered us. Second half, really? And he changed stuff at half time. And this is the thing: if it's not working, why not change it? That's what your subs are there for. To me, that either shows that he's too stubborn, or he's got no faith in the ones on the bench anyway.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you about that. You know, obviously talking about your depth, do you feel like that's an issue? Because we had it last year with Farker. He didn't trust his bench. We had people like Jaden Anthony, who now starts for Burnley, doing okay. Didn't give him any minutes because he didn't see no trust in him. We had Geldart, didn't get off a bench this season because that bench is a lot stronger. He is making subs, but it's always 70th minute. And to be fair, I think we've got 10 goals from subs this season, more than anyone else in the league. So some fans are divided, saying, well, it's working. Yes, it is, but that winner, that equaliser we got in 92nd minute could have been scored maybe 20 minutes earlier if he had done subs early. So there's an argument for that. But with you guys, is it more he doesn't trust his bench, do you think?
I think it's just because we haven't got the depth. I mean, the last home game we had, I think there was 2 players out with under 21s on the bench. You know, Zach Johnson, who's probably played 1 game. Harrison Jones has never, I think he's played 1 game and all. You know, and we signed a kid called Milan Alexic, who we paid £3 million for. He's made 1 substitute appearance since the start of the season, and he's been on the bench every week. We've got Connolly on the bench. The other 2 players, Adil Sheesh and Nasri Vujan, have been told they can leave in January, but yet they're still on our bench. So, you know, what does that tell you? I mean, we have got Luke O'Nien and we've got Hjelde, who we've got from Hughes and all, who kind of get a game. He's on the bench week in, week out, but never gets on.
Should he get a game or not?
I'm not convinced of him. Like, I mean,
neither, mate.
He's dog shit for me, but
yeah, I thought so.
He's I don't know. I don't think we know where we keep playing left back, but he's not a left back. But when he plays centre half, he's not a centre half either.
Yeah, I think when we got from Celtic, we thought he was a left centre back, and then, like I say, he always found himself playing left back for us whenever he got a minute. And yeah, he just looks so clunky with ball. He just don't look natural for him. Held. I don't know what it is, but he had a really high ceiling as well. But he don't look. Unfortunately, don't like it's happening for him at your place either. So
there's another one that could potentially be leaving in January. So if you look at that, there's probably 3 to 4 players on the bench who if they said they can leave, what does that tell you? We've just got. That's where I think we need these signs, and I think that's why we have struggled in form, because we've been playing the same team week in, week out, only changing it because we've had to, because of injury. Otherwise, it would have been the same 11 every week. And in this league, when you're playing 3 games a week, it's too much. You can't do it.
It's impossible. See, you like purple patches where it all goes for you, won't you? You can do it, but over 46 games, it's a squad game. It's Championship. You can't get away with it, And my worry is looking in. I think Sheffield United and Burnley will strengthen. I see them two. I actually about us. I actually about you, but I see them two definitely pushing envelope.
Yeah, and 100%. I think they've got the manager in Wilder who'll demand that.
Yep.
He'd be pushing back to the board and say, look, if you want promotion, you're going to have to give me what I want. 100%. This is another frustrating thing where you do all the hard work up until Christmas and January, and you get up there, and then just chuck it away in January by not strengthening. It's like, what's the point? And from a fan's perspective, it's really, really annoying and really frustrating when you've had such a good start, unexpected start as well. And I get slated on my channel because they keep on saying, what you're mourning for, we're not expected to be up there. Just enjoy it. That's not the point. We are up there. So why should we not be stopping up there?
Oh, yeah, too right. No, I get that.
In this league, you're going to get that many chances to get promoted. And when you have got a chance, you need to grasp it. Because next, like we got in the playoffs first season back up, and we didn't get there. Last season we were shite. Nearly got getting relegated. If that had been the start that we had. So you can never tell. So when you get a chance to get promoted, you have to just gun for it.
You do, mate. Maybe take that gamble, push the envelope a little bit. You see these teams, don't you, get punished and it's a couple of points, and you think, man, I wish I had a couple of points deduction in Prem rather than being sat mid-table or struggling in Championship. Some of these teams have gambled and it's paid off, and other ones are just sat here while they're winning Championship. But I do think it's like you say, when you're there or thereabouts, you need to just be brave and go for it. And we're never proactive. I said to you on last video, we brought in that Gilavogi who's been sound as a free transfer. That's such an un-Leedsy thing to do. I was gobsmacked they did that. So I'm hoping this board's going to show us a bit more than as last board did, and in January go out and, you know, I understand, you know, we're not stupid. If they believe, which I'm sure 49ers at Leeds will believe, that they're going to get promoted. You know, Sunderland might be different, Blackburn, all these other sides who are in playoffs, even Burnley, maybe not, maybe they won't believe, but I 100% believe that 49ers think they will go up. And if they believe that, why spend 10, 15, 20 million now when that player you bring in might not be Prem quality next season? So it's a tough balancing act, you know. And I firmly believe they will believe that, you know, all the money they've invested. I mean, our squad says it should be up there. And that's my big thing. If they genuinely think we'll be okay, I don't think they'll push the envelope. And that's the problem. Just spend it and worry about next season, because, you know, we've seen it too many times before. Last season, we only brought in Roberts from Burnley right back to replace Jed Spencer. We let go of Tottenham. So basically, we did nothing last January. And it happens too many times. You know, January before that, when we were in Prem, we brought in Jorginho Rutter. He barely kicked a ball from January onwards, and he was a 35 million pound. Januaries, we tend to get it wrong every January. And this season, a bit like last season, it turned on its head. I mean, look at Ipswich. They get promoted from League One to Championship. Nobody in the right mind would have thought they'd have attracted the players they attracted in January, because they only got them, the Kiefer Moores, etc., because they were up there. Exactly. So it's one of them where it'll be the same again this season. I've already heard that Sheffield United are looking at Ben Brereton Diaz from. Where's he from?
He's at.
He's someone in Premier League anyway. Is it Southampton? No, it's not Southampton, is it?
He's Southampton, right?
I think it is, yeah. And we know what he's like in Championship. Whether they can do it in Prem or not, I'm not too sure they can. It's been proven. But if he drops down in January to Sheffield United, who are top of division currently, and they get him as well, it's just another string of their bow, in it. You know, another weapon that the sides around them won't have, and that is a massive worry.
It's just a sign of ambition, isn't it? You know, I think from a Sunderland fan, I'm on the opposite side. I'm more worried about the players we're going to lose, and you know, if we do lose the likes of Regan and Job, then you know, where does that leave us? You know what I mean?
Has there been any noise around Rig going? Have you had any teams? What sort of teams are sniffing around them? Do you know?
Well, there's been rumours. I mean, you know, there's rumours all season.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich and Juventus and all West Ham and all these type of players are supposed to have been linked, but you know, until there's firm interest, you never really know. But like, obviously they're going to move on at some time, because they're going to be a really, really good player. But he's happy at the club, which is a good thing. Job loves it at the club as well. I mean, Job loves the fans. He did an interview at the weekend saying, you know, how he loves it and how the fans are amazing. But at the end of the day, if somebody comes in with 35 million for an 18-year-old, it's like it's a no-brainer as far as the board are concerned. And you're not going to replace that, are you? No matter who you buy, I mean, you're not going to replace that. So, from our perspective, I'm more concerned about that. You know.
I get that.
But I mean, I can see that the club's perspective at that, you know, they're not wanting to spend that much money if they're not guaranteed promotion. But you didn't have to spend like 15, 20 million. There's players out there who've got championship experience, championship now at this level, like Kiefer Moore, like last year, they got him on loan, who will do the business for you.
100%. I mean, I've seen earlier today that it won't be match fit like being out all season, but is that Brandon Williams, that left back, who he hadn't had a club for 6 months? It's wild, you know. Like someone just take a punt on him in January. He might not be match fit sharp till February, but what a rotation option you've got there. Someone like him, you know. There's some people out there. It doesn't have to cost big money. It's just, you know, pushing the envelope a bit, maybe on wages potentially. But if you save on a transfer fee, you can do. Say with that Gilavogi we've got, mate, what a masterstroke it is to bring him in. Playing very little minutes, he knows his role, knows when everyone's fit, he's not going to play. I mean, he hasn't been playing much with the injuries we've had currently, but off the field, he's been a massive praise from Farker for team talks before game. You can see when we score, Willie Nonto scored winner at Swansea, he's running over to Gilavogi and celebrating with him. And we lost a lot of experience in summer. Cooper, Aylan, Dallas, and that was a massive worry for us, you know. And then you bring someone like Gilavogi, 34-year-old, been around blocking in Europe, played in European games, and happy to be in England for the first time in his career, at the end of his career. Sometimes it's not even just what they do on pitch, you know, it's bringing the right personalities in to you know, bond that group even more. And that to be honest, has been an absolute masterstroke. You know, he comes on usually for last 10 minutes just to shore up the game. He got a bit of stick from Farker for one of the games the other week. He came on and Farker's exact words to him were, go on and be a Cloud Makalele. That's how he worded it to him. And then he was annoyed because he did a couple of pirouettes and a couple of balls. And he said at the end of the interview with Farker, and I was pissed off because he looked more like Zidane. And I thought it's hilarious. You know, it's little bits like that coming through that just, you know, you can see the camaraderie, you can see the fun the players, you know, are having, and they all enjoy being with each other. So sometimes it's not even just about what they do on the pitch, it's getting it right off the pitch. And we've been doing that since 49ers have come in. I feel like we've done that, you know, I really am.
But them type of players are like, they're a one-off, and you're not going to find 3 or 4 of them in a season. So
no, you're not.
Yes, I don't know. I just
who's bothering you looking down, Wayne? Like looking underneath you? Who the obvious is it your Boroughs? Is it your Blackburns? Is there anybody else? Or
well, Blackburn, I'm not too sure if they're going to sustain it. I mean, to be fair to them, they've done a cracking job.
They have.
You know, I tipped them to probably go down this season after what they had. But Eustace has done a cracking job. I mean, to be fair to him, he did a great job at Birmingham before they sacked him and got Rooney in. I mean, what the fuck they were thinking of? No idea. So, like, he's done a cracking job, but whether they can sustain it all season, I'm not too sure. Middlesbrough, I didn't know that they're Jekyll and Hyde side. Middlesbrough, you never know who we're going to play against. They're class one week and shit the next.
Did you see us slap them up the other week? Did you see that game? Yeah, it was a weird one, mate. They came to our place. I mean, it was quite a good game, to be fair. A lot of fans will say it was best team we've played all season. I actually said not saying it because Ronnie, I said Sunderland. But I don't know if we were referring to our home game, which are fair enough. But I say Sunderland give us our best test. That was probably best game on eye as well. I've seen it with end to end that one. But Middlesbrough came and they sat in a little bit. But when they did break and when they did go, you could see they've got some talented players. They've got a lot of pace in that side, and it does have them playing a good brand of football. But like you say, no way did I see a 3-1. That was a game for Leeds fans. Even though on us day, if everyone plays to a 9 out of 10, we should beat most sides, which doesn't happen all the time, obviously. But the Middlesbrough, when I were worried for that, that was the game I expected to drop points. I thought we'd beat Preston following game, but that Middlesbrough game was an Ireland, and they just didn't give us what I expected, mate. It was weird.
I think maybe you said to me before when we were messaging saying you're worried about Borough. I think it was going to be a tough test. And like I see, you never know which Borough's going to turn up.
No.
Other sides, I mean, Watford, they're just outside the playoffs. Are they going to sustain it? Probably not.
No.
They're saying they're a bit of a dodgy side. Coventry, now they've got Lampard, seem to be flying a little bit. If they put a run together towards the second half of the season, they will not be too far away.
Yeah. West Brom are always there or thereabouts, aren't they? But a bit of a draw merchant, Sam, aren't they?
West Brom, unbelievable. I mean,
I'd hate to be a West Brom fan, me.
I mean, they're a little bit similar to what we have on that run of draws, and then they got beat the weekend, but they're the same. If Josh Maja doesn't score, they struggle for goals. And Maja had like 10 goals in the first 8-9 weeks of the season. Now they've dried up. They're struggling to win games.
Yeah, they are.
They haven't got goals from around the side. So I hope that we can stay in around the top 6. But a lot will depend on January for me, and it'll all depend, like you say, on other teams around us strengthening. You know, there's a lot of sides in this league got some good players on paper, and if they all click, then
that's the problem, mate. Like if nobody strengthens in January, you know, you could probably sit there and go, yeah, fair enough, but you know, but it's not just us not strengthening; everybody else will strengthen. That's the worry. It's not if nobody did, then I think fair enough. You know, we'll gamble and we'll give it a go. But the difference in you not strengthening to a Sheffield United bringing a Diaz or someone in like that, it's just a massive difference.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've definitely got the downside to that, not having no parachute payments. You know, a couple of years ago, been in League One, coming up, you're really doing really well. You've built a really good young squad there. Unfortunately for you, when it comes to the wages and stuff like that, you can't compete with teams that have been in Premier League. So a bit like us when we went up under Bielsa, you know, obviously you know why we went up. We had an absolute god in charge. But in terms of the players we had, you know, they shouldn't have been capable of what they did. And it's hard when you're up against teams who have got massive wage budgets and decent transfer fees. And like I say, Leeds now have built a good squad. Because you can do, when you're in Premier League for a couple of years, even when you do come down, that quality does sort of trickle through your squad into your depth positions. And that's what obviously we're finding this year. Our squad's probably better this year than it was last year, arguably. Subjective, I know, but I'd agree on that point that we've got a better squad than we've got last year. Maybe not as many star men, but that's what I found. It's a bit of a weird one. Like I say, his bench is stronger, We're getting goals from everywhere. Well, apart from midfield, but more places than last year. But on the days when we're struggling to break it down, you're just crying for a Somerville or a Jorginho Rota. You know, I don't miss them week to week. I'm sort of happy with who we've got, but there's some games where you think this is where one of these needs to stand up and get, you know, and be counted. And maybe that star quality is maybe not there in the moments when we really need it.
It's a tough one, isn't it? You know, it really is tough. Like, on the flip side of that, there's loads of people on my channel say, "We want to get promoted?" You know, when you see the difference in quality, you know, like Ipswich and Southampton who did really well last season, getting the Prem, they're getting battered week in, week out. Do you really want to see that as a fan?
Not really.
But you didn't, do you? But just for me, is to see them types of players at the stadium, like Haaland and all, like, it's just be good for one season just to have that, and then stick a bit money in the bank as well. You know, enjoy for a season. But I don't know.
That's it. You can't stay in Championship, can you, and keep the side you've got, though, because eventually your better players leave, and you end up just stagnating with. So it's one of them. Like, at least if you go up, I mean, you think Ipswich come down. I mean, they're doing all right. They might stay up, but you say you go up and you do come back down. You're coming down with more money in bank, a thicker squad for Championship, and then you know, Ipswich have gone from League One to maybe now being a yo-yo team. You know, there's no saying they'll come down and struggle, because they've still got a lot of that core side there playing, so they'll be Championship ready, you'd imagine, if they did come back down. Same with Southampton. It's unusual to drop down and I think sort of stagnate these days. Like your Burnleys, your Norwiches, your Sheffield United, they tend to be yo-yos. West Brom, they're stagnating a bit now. Stoke have sort of had their moment and they've sort of lost it now, really. But I do think if you could get up this year, it could be Mackem. I mean, it's same as Leeds in terms of size at club and stuff. It's just a sleeping giant, isn't it, when you're in this division? It's so frustrating because you look at some sides in Prem and they're there on merit, fair enough. But
do you know what, Roy? Likes of Bournemouth, who've got a tin pot stadium. You know, but fair play to them as a club.
Yeah.
They're being absolutely amazing. You know, they're competing, and I think they're up in the European places at the minute.
Brilliant.
So, you know, Brighton have come from nowhere. Brentford, I think, got promoted via the playoffs, and look what they've done over the years, you know. And I think, but what, with the exception of Nottingham Forest, teams now, when they get promoted, are not spending massive amounts of money because they're going to have that massive wage bill to then get back down to the Championship. I think Burnley didn't spend loads of money. Southampton have already spent out this season. Ipswich have probably not spent a great deal, if anything. Jack Clark they got from us, who's struggling. So, I don't know, it's teams now are not investing that massive money to what you would think, what you have to stay in the Prem these days.
Yeah, no, it's one of them as well, mate, where if you've got the right scouts in place, you know, and you do I know everyone can do it, you know, it's just getting the right people behind the scenes. I mean, we got Tanaka, I don't know if you've seen, he's absolutely, honestly, it's so good at this level. Hopefully he's a Premier League player. I believe he is. We got him for $3.5 million from, you know, second division in Germany. You don't have to spend big. And when we were in Premier League, we bought Mark Rocker for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 million, whatever it was. Tyler Adams, same. And you look at him and you think he's probably a better player than both of them put together, to be fair. But it's just, you've got to turn over a few stones, look in areas and places you maybe don't stand out to you. You know, looking in Spanish top division and buying a player for 20 million, you know, it seems more appealing than looking in German second division. But there's gems out there, and if you've got the right people, I mean, that's how Brentford did it, Moneyball system.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, well, he's a good player, bring him in. You know, you can look at certain attributes of players and what will he bring and it can all come, you know, accumulate to a collective that's in Premier League for 5 years in a row, something like Brentford and in your Brightons, and they just get it right, these sides. And it's like you say, it's fair play to them. You might look at them and think, you know, look at our size of our stadium, look at size of our fan base and stuff. But both our clubs have got it wrong on so many occasions.
Big style.
And it's no fault. It's not the fans' fault, granted, but it's the board, you know, behind the scenes have got it wrong on so many occasions that, you know, it's left us where we've been, and we've kind of been playing catch up to some of these smaller clubs, haven't we? Fair play.
I think what you touched on there now is a good point about, you know, what you said earlier about it's not just the players, it's having the right characters in the squad.
100%.
You know, you need that blend. You need good signing a player who, yes, might be an absolute world beater, but it's an absolute shithouse and just disrupts the dressing room. You know, you have to have a balance, and like you say, it's how you've got that scouting network and where you're looking and taking all these things into account. Which I found quite strange when we signed Aaron Conley about, you know, you need the right players in the dressing room. Yet when you find out the struggles what he's had in the past, Where's that going to come from? But to be fair to the lad, he's done well. He's getting out of that. Now he's trying to rebuild his career. So it's, I don't know. You have to have that network in place, and I would hope that we've got that, because you're bringing these young lads through. But I think you have to have that experience side of things as well to balance that young side. You kind of just have a team full of young lads. You have to have some experience, and I think that's why Ipswich did so well last year, because they had Kiefer Moore, they had a few other experienced players in the squad, and got them promoted. And even like Sheffield United have still got a blend, a good blend of that as well. You know, I've got some good players, experienced players in the side.
Yeah, they have.
So
who's your centre half who you were really happy you got from Bournemouth, did you?
Chris Mepham.
Chris Mepham. Has he been as good as you hoped for? When we spoke before, you said he was doing really well.
He's been probably our best signing. He's class. Like I think I said it last time I was on it. It just shows you the difference in quality in the Premier League. If likes of Bournemouth can allow likes of him to go out on loan, he's absolutely different class. Like he's head and shoulders above anybody. Always has time on the ball. He never panics.
Yeah,
just seems to like stroll around the pitch and never gets flustered. I mean, he got sent off obviously against Sheffield United the other week, but he's just a different class of player, and he's the one that's bringing the likes of Ballard on.
Yeah,
and Tria Hume and like that. So
when you talk about experience, he's imperative to that, is it?
I think he's just different. I mean, he's only 20 odd himself, and he's not an old player.
No, I feel like he's been around for ages. But what is he, about mid-20s?
I think he's about 26, 27. Yeah. But just shows you why having that experience, you know, it counts for a lot. But wouldn't know. I mean, we all like to just sit here and speculate. We never know what's going on behind the scenes, do we really? I mean, they could have players lined up that we didn't know about. I mean, the Henderson thing for us was he's come out during the week, more or less said it's absolute load of shite. Doesn't know where it's come from. Just people trying to sell articles and sell papers in it. That's all it is. Putting two and two together because we're doing well. Or Henderson's end of his career, he's gone back to Sunderland, and it's just like bollocks, really.
It's all about clicks these days, isn't it, mate? And it's such an easy thing to write up that it's definitely going to get clicks, is that? So, like I say, I don't think it's anything down to going from top to fourth now. I don't think, because you're linked when you were top, I don't think it's anything to do with that. I just don't think it would ever on. I just think it was just an obvious thing now. He's at Ajax. Is he playing? Is he doing all right there?
He's captain. I think he's doing all right. I think their manager said he's got no plans on letting him go. He's happy with how he's performing. Henderson said he's happy with how he's doing. He wants to stay there. So doesn't know where the story came from. Just journalists, you know, we could sit and do that. Yeah,
of course we could, mate, 100%. So before we go, how are you feeling now? How's the general feeling first, like at Sunderland? I mean, you sort of stuck to that when, you know, we spoke last time. You were top by 5 points. You were sort of happy to be there. Not too sure how long it'd last. Enjoy it while it's there, but expected to, worst case, you know, be a playoff place after saying you'd have been happy with mid-table, but obviously after that start, it was different. Do you feel now you are where you're going to be in the playoffs, or do you think you're still in with a shout? Because for me, mate, you might play it down, but I see a lot in Sunderland, me, with that, you know, going right till the end. You score a lot of late goals when you're not playing well and you don't lose. That's massive. That I know that squad depth, and you know, we've touched on that, but do you think you are where you are now, or have you got a sneaky chance at top two?
Well, based on the league table, we've still got a chance. You know, we're only 5 points off top. You know,
I'd agree.
So we're not on paper. We're still up there with a hell of a chance. I think this Christmas period will decide a lot, because we've got 4 tough games. We've got Blackburn, we've got Norwich at the weekend. We've then got Blackburn Boxing Day, then Stoke, then Sheffield United at home on New Year's Day. So if we can get through them 4 games, possibly with 7 points, I'd be happy. If we can stay in the playoffs, I'd be more than happy, because we, like I said at the start of the season, if we were mid-table, I'd be happy. But we have overachieved. But the lads have got the confidence now, and I think these last couple of weeks where the late equaliser against Bristol City the other week, and then obviously that comeback on Saturday against Preston, the confidence is back in the side again. But I do think it'll depend on staying injury-free and how we'll do in January, because you can't have the same 11 players to get you from start to end. You have to have squad rotation. Now, whether some of these signings that we made at the start of the season who have just been bedding in, and they come into the side second half of the season, then, you know, fingers crossed that does happen. But if we can aim for 6th 5th or 6th, that'll be my aim for now for the end of the season. Anything else is a bonus.
And then end of the day, mate, it's a playoff. There's only 4 sides in it, mate. I don't want to be in playoffs. We've seen it, but end of the day, anyone can win playoffs out of those 4 for me, whether you finish 3rd or 6th. You'd take it before the ball will kick this season, wouldn't you? Playoffs, Leeds probably wouldn't, but last year is where we ended up, and I'm a bit of a sicko, mate. I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the thrill of it. I don't want everything to be easy. I want it to be a challenging night. I love going to Wembley. It was sad that we didn't get over it, but I'm sure you'll go there in your thousands, and I'd tip you to do it, me. I'd tip you to do it.
We had a season ticket there. I think a couple of seasons ago we were there about 4 times in 2 years, and it was like,
sick
of seeing us get beat. The only time we won was when we couldn't get in.
Nightmare.
So, I mean, I don't know if likes of yous would probably be expecting to go up, wouldn't you? Likes of Leeds. But the good thing about this season, I mean, whereas it's last year where you had teams running away with the league, this year everybody's beating each other.
Yeah, they are.
And it only takes for you to go on a run of 4, 5, or 6 games and put a run of wins together, and you'll probably be top of the league by 8, 9 points. Yeah. Because other teams are just beating everybody else.
Yeah, I definitely don't see a runaway leader. I mean, I've had moments this season where we've had a good result and I've been like, yeah, we'll get a few back to back and we'll create a gap, but then we'll drop silly points away. Then I can't get out of my head the fact that Burnley and Sheffield United just don't concede. So no matter how good I think we are, how good our players are, and we're good defensively, don't get me wrong. I think we've conceded 13 and 21. We're really good defensively, but that 6 and 9 goals is scandalous.
In 20 games.
It's unreal, mate. I mean, we always go on like last season, we're in an anomaly. It doesn't happen every season, but then this season you've got 6 and, your top 2 or your 1st and 3rd, 9 and 6 goals conceded. That's an anomaly in itself as well. So there'll always be some at season by season where you look at, and I mean, everyone said there won't be 3 sides get 90 points this season like there were last season. You look at it and think, I don't know. You don't know. I mean, I've always said like, nah, everyone's saying same, but like that top 4, especially, if they keep going where they're going, why not? It could be really tight, and I just didn't expect Leeds to be in a dogfight, and I do now win 100%. I mean, I back us to go up. I do think we've got the most talented players. I mean, you're a big Dan James fan, aren't you? You like, I mean, you say you hate him, but that's because he doesn't play for you, but you like him, don't you? What a player! He's our best player. He's our best player at minute, Wayne. He's on fire.
Just his pace just terrifies everyone when he plays against. Can you imagine playing against him? He'd just terrify you, wouldn't you? You would drop like 50 yards back just so you run past you, because he just terrify. Once he's past you, it's game over. You have to foul and bring him down or whatever just to stop him.
It's unreal, mate, because he's not even. I mean, at minute he's probably his best player and his best winger currently, based on last 3 or 4 games. But he's not guaranteed to start. Like, he is a bench option some games for the last 20 minutes, which is just ridiculous. I mean, there's certain games, mate, we're bringing on Solomon and Dan James as a double sub in 70th minute. I mean, if that doesn't show you depth and how in embarrassment and riches we've got, I mean, whether I think we'll go up or not, it should go up. We should go up with that depth. I'm sure you could agree on that, and it'd be a massive underachievement if we end up in playoffs again. And obviously,
if I had to pick top 2 at this very minute, I would pick Sheffield United and Hughes. That's the top 2 I would pick for
in that order as well, probably. Yeah.
I didn't know in that order. I didn't know. I mean, Sheffield United kind of. I'd be amazed if they got through the season like Burnley, not conceding the least amount of goals. I think there's a couple of injuries in defence and they might be struggling, but I do think it'll be you and Sheffield United. In what order, I'm not too sure. Based on squad depth and the teams I've seen this season, Leeds are by far the best team I've seen so far this season. So,
and have you played Burnley and Sheffield United as well, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
You played them both, yeah. Oh, fair enough. Not Blackburn yet, though.
Blackburn's Boxing Day.
Yeah, Blackburn Boxing Day. Well, like I say, I think they're on a bit of a purple patch. I don't think that'll continue. But when you look at the promotion rivals in terms of, like I say, Sheffield United, I think the annoying thing is, mate, we battered them. We beat them 2-0. We battered Burnley. We lost 1-0, but we battered them. And like I say, when we look at that top of league, the best side we played were definitely you guys. And it's just the games that you should win, them two will win, and that's where I think there's a massive difference between Leeds and them. They'll win the game. Away at Preston, they'll just go win it, and there'll be no 1-0, 2-0.
Right, job done. We won.
We're having to put in so much energy for a game, that should be easy on paper. I know it's not played on paper, but sometimes it is. And like you say, games that you're having to win 3-2, we come back in last minute. It's great for confidence, but it takes a lot out of you when you got Sheffield United and Burnley who just sit back and win with ease. And I mean, Burnley, I think they're near bottom of the league for chances created in terms of the offensive side. Again, the stats are so low, but 6 goals conceded. Boring football. I wouldn't want to watch it. It's Burnley, for God's sake, but. They're gonna be there or thereabouts. They've got Parker. He's been there. He's done it. He's got a way of playing it. It's effective, isn't it?
Aye, that's it. It's the difference between he's been there and that's what it takes. Wilder been there and that's what it takes. But your manager as well, mind. Farker's been there, done it. So he's done the same. So you've all got the experience like to get out of this league. So
how do you feel about Fark out? Because everybody, it's a massive proportion of our fan base, Wayne, that want him sacked even now.
Unreal. I think some fans are absolutely unbelievable at times, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's like, who are you going to get better at this stage? Who's going to come and do a better job at this stage? He knows the players. He's got a way of working. I just didn't get it. I didn't get some fans. You lose a couple of. I mean, I saw your rant.
Like after the Millwall game.
I had a right now laugh at that. I did. And I thought, oh, he's going to get some pelters for that, but. Yeah. I thought it was you're right though. Some fans need to give that a shake.
Yeah, they do.
Considering where you are, I mean, it's like us wanting Reed's Libris out for what he's done. Yes, we didn't agree with some of his tactics and his substitutions, but at this moment in time, who are you going to get better?
Is there some people say that about Libris as well? I
didn't know. There's been. I mean, I've been critical of in the last month or so, but I didn't want him sacked. You know what I mean? I just think he just needs to.
No, Fark out's an actual trendy thing, pal. It's
really,
it's crazy, mate. Like we come in, 2 unbound. What we haven't done, we haven't gone on a decent run. We'll win 2, and then that third game in a week. We haven't won one yet. But like this last week, I were annoyed with Preston, but it's still 7 points out of 9. You move on. You know what I mean? You don't need an overreaction. Yeah, I wasn't happy. There's definitely a problem where from 1 win in 5, 1 away win in 2 months is scandalous for the team wanting promotion. But to sack your manager when you're second, 3 points behind top, when you've beaten top already this season, you look at it and you're going, Bucky still have us, favourites to go up, and everybody outside Leeds expects Leeds to go up. As players are doing business, you can't win every game. It's frustrating. He's got flaws in his game, but that's why he's a championship manager and probably isn't a top-end Premier League manager, if even a bottom-end, we'll see next season. But the amount of people that say, if he gets us up or when he gets us up, he should be sacked in summer because I don't believe he can keep us up. I mean, I'd hate my club if they live by those rules. For me, meritocracy, you've got to give someone a chance, in life. Yeah. I know it's not about money and there's no sentiment in business, but if we want to get promoted, mate, and they want to sack him to bring someone, a bit like Sheffield Wednesday do that way. Where more was it? I think they did that when they came up from League One. Yeah, I don't know if that's the reason behind it or what, but I think when you get promoted, you deserve a crack at it. And I know his leash will be tight. I know he might only get 6 or 7 games, and we'll see how it goes. But there's genuinely people who want him out now, and even if he gets promoted, want him sacked. And yeah, it's hard me because I'm not massive on social media, and obviously doing this, you've sort of got to touch, and you obviously dip your toe into water. But I've seen some crazy stuff, mate, that I don't like. I won't lie, Wayne.
So who do they want in his place? Who?
They never say, mate. It's been trickling on now a bit. Like you get Moyes mentioned and stuff like that, but really, no one really throws. Honestly,
you man.
You think it'd be better with Moyes? Yeah, Moyes has been mentioned, but a lot of people don't really throw anyone in there. They just say, "I want someone else," and I don't really see how you can go against. He's statistically the best manager in Championship history, points per game wise. Nobody touches Farker. Yeah. He's gone up twice. The only time he didn't go up, he still got 90 points, and people go, yeah, but it wasn't good enough. Yeah, it won't, but it will be most of the time, and it was still a good season. I went to work smiling every Monday morning pretty much, mate, because we won most weeks.
Exactly.
And I've seen some dross. I've seen us have Steve Evans in charge. I've seen us have David Hockaday, mate, who's now a PE teacher in a college. And these are the last 10 years, mate, as well. This is only 10 years ago, some of these managers, and you look at it and go, people just have short memories. Bielsa ruined it for a lot of fans, mate. Bielsa ruined it for a lot of fans because you don't, like you said earlier, you've got to enjoy it moment when it's here. And a lot of people, maybe didn't enjoy the Bielsa moments or cherish them maybe as much as they should. And as soon as it's gone, now you remember it back and you go, never get it that good again. Now
you're right, and like you say, you sometimes better the devil you know as well, because you just have to enjoy it when it's gone well. But I just think some fans expect us to win every week, and it doesn't work that way. We know it doesn't work that way. And if you understand football, you're not going to win every week. Sometimes you have off days. Some teams raise the game to play against you. When you're top of the league, everybody wants to beat you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. It's just football. It doesn't work that way.
Look at City.
That's the beauty. I look at Man City. I mean, could be worse. Could be a City fan at the minute, couldn't you? You know what I mean?
No, that's bonkers, mate. That is that's biggest fall off a cliff I've ever seen when it comes to a side like that. I've never seen it like it.
I mean, there's Guardiola, he's second favourite to get the push, the next Premier League manager to leave. So, there you are.
Well, mate, like I say, if it's ever been a true statement, mate, that you can't win every week, no matter who you are, look at City. It's
no matter who you are, the players you've got, it just doesn't happen. You cannot win every game; it's impossible. But you just have to. The sign of a good side is to bounce back when you've had a defeat, and it's to stop. So you're not going on that bad run to then start sliding down the league. It's how you bounce back from them defeats. Which, to be fair, we've done it, and you've done it pretty much quite regular this season. When you've had a bad result, you've bounced back and had a good one straight after. Yeah,
we've not had two bad results in a row, I don't think, this season. I think we had a couple of draws, Norwich and you back to back, but really away from home, they're not bad points, to be honest. But yeah, we haven't gone on a run yet of 2 or 3 without a win. We just can't get that consistent run going of 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, because that third game always trips us up. But if you're only losing or drawing 1 in every 5 or 1 in every 6, it's not a bad run. It's one of them. Like, I'd say a fair assessment of Leeds is we're doing okay, it could be better. We're doing good, it could be better. It's one of them, I think as we are now, it'll probably be enough. It just isn't for everybody. I mean, we want cake and eat it, really. We want to play scintillating football and get 3 points every game, and it's just not going to be that. Sometimes you just want the 3 points. Performance doesn't matter.
That's right. Like this stage of the season now, it's Christmas time. You just want a win is a win. Whether it's 1 now, 90th minute, 100%. It's getting results. You can like us in the last month or so. You can play all the nice football in the world, but you didn't put the ball away, you get beat. So
I agree, man. I agree.
He's got a good point there. Everybody's cup final. This is the thing in it. When you're top of the league, you're there to be shot at.
Yeah. Do you feel that as well as when people come to your place, big stadium? Obviously as Leeds fans, we're probably always a little bit biased with that, and we always say every team. I believe it. I don't know whether you guys do, but like every team we play, it's it'll be one of the first fixtures to look at. Well, any side when we're going to Welling Road, when we're playing Leeds.
When we're playing do
you feel that?
100%. You can feel that. Teams come there when they've been getting battered week in, week out, and they come our place and they're suddenly give 120%. They're like, hang on a minute, these have been getting battered off everybody. They come here and put in a performance like that. I mean, Bristol City, we equalised 93rd minute. They got beat off Portsmouth 3-0 the week before. So how does that work? You know what I mean? I've got a place like Portsmouth, but you come, 40,000. It's different. Teams raise the game when they're playing the big sides, and we found it more in League One. When teams were coming like unbelievable, but I do believe that 100% because us use probably Sheffield United, Coventry, big sides in the league that teams want to beat, and the places where they love to go and play. Opposing players love to play at the stadium, like love to play at Ellen Road.
100%. So I'll just last thing I just want to say before we go is when you look at those top 4, I think we called it on last video as well. I think that top 4 is an all Blackburn and Middlesbrough doing okay. I think the 4 is the 4. I know there's a long way to go. I just think that will be the 4. In what order, I don't know. But what I will say is something you've got to your advantage is the pressure level isn't. Yeah, you haven't got the squad depth. It's got a lot of stuff against you compared to the 3 there who've all been in Premier League recently. But the pressure level isn't there for Sunderland in terms of the expectancy of you need to go up. Leeds need to go up. There's no two ways about it. Like, I cannot imagine financially, squad-wise, how we'll look next season if we still. Some fans will tell you different, but majority know we have to go up this season. And I know Sheffield United and Burnley, they are used to being in Championship, but again, there'll be pressures there from coming down. There'll be financial worries. They will want to go up, need to go up a lot more than Sunderland do. So that's something you can cling on to. I think as a Sunderland fan, thinking, from outside looking in anyway, there'll be an expectancy in the club to maintain the good start, and the fans will want that. But compared to the 3 around you, mate, you ain't got that level of stress and worry. The players haven't got that like our players are, for me.
No, we're not expected to be anywhere near them, where we are at the minute. We weren't expected, like I said before, so we weren't expected to be there. But the biggest pressure that they'll have is from us fans, because now we expect it.
Yeah.
We expect it. So, I mean, we'll see in January who presses the button, who guns for it and who doesn't. And they'll be if Hughes, Sheffield and Burnley need to go up, they'll be the ones who pretty much, press the button and think, right, we've got to go for this.
No, I agree, Paul. I agree. Well, that was a very good chat, an hour and 5 minutes. Please stick a like. I haven't even said, stick a like and subscribe if you're new here. I know majority of the chat might be Leeds fans, but please, he's a top guy who's Wayne. Make sure you go check out Only Fools And Safc. Great videos. I watch his stuff weekly, knows his stuff, and he's mint when it comes to editing stuff. Honestly, you are the GOAT. Your intros are so good, mate. I mean, I hope you've noticed mine's got a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm
working on it, mate. I always said to you, techie stuff's just not my bag, but I'm enjoying playing around with stuff on Canva and CapCut and getting stuff looking a bit more professional, and it's really enjoyable. So, like I say, you are the GOAT when it comes to that. So anyone go check him out, and let's be fair as Leeds fans. If we had to pick it up, I'll go pick Sunderland. I think Michael's big sleeping giants as well at times, and top guy Wayne. Thank you so much for coming on. So go check him out. And we'll have you on again at some point before the end of the season. I hope you're still in touching distance, mate, because it's great content to chat with you as well, Paul. So.
Anytime, let's see. I hope we have some kind of promotion party at the end of the season. It'll be good. Make us and news.
I would love that. Olin, please send big love to one of our subscribers. Yeah, Lord Shiagorov's in hospital. Poorly. So all the best, mate. Hopefully, it's nothing too severe, and you'll be back on here giving me a stick like you normally do. But yeah, all my love and support to you, pal. Hopefully,
all the best from the fans.
Christmas. Take care, buddy. But yeah, so we'll leave it at that then. So thanks so much for Wayne for coming on. Thank you, chat, for getting involved, putting your messages out there. Thank you so much, and everyone take care. And I'll be back tomorrow with your Oxford preview. Hold on a sec there. Just got to get that. Somebody had to say it, didn't they?
We had to get that in.
But we're nearly done an hour and 6 minutes. No, mentioning that. Cheers, Andy. Anyway, take care, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Yeah. Bye-bye.